In my last video, I gave two examples of people. One person was trying to get Social Security. That person can drive, he can read, he can write, and he has support from a well-off family. The other person cannot read, cannot write, cannot drive, and has very little support from any outside family. Now, some people might be thinking that that other person is me. Kind of, but not really. The example I'm giving actually is somebody named Raymond. He has the mental intelligence of a 7 year old, but yet he was 50 years old. I had to do a lot of Social Security stuff with him, and when he moved to New Hampshire, he needed to reapply for Social Security because he left the state of Massachusetts. And because of his state, I had to help him a little. But I'm barely able to read and write. I can read and write, but only a little, not to the ability of filling out Social Security. So I did have to get a lot of help from him, from workers, get him people that could do those things. But one of the things I noticed was it took an awful lot to get anybody to help him. And if it wasn't for me, really kind of directing and being his voice and being kind of like a helping hand, it wouldn't have worked. He would have been left between the cracks with no Social Security, no car, and the stuff they were asking him to do at first was stuff that he clearly can't do. Like go to Massachusetts and he doesn't even know how to take a train or a bus properly without somebody sitting next to him. If you sent him to Massachusetts to get a birth certificate, he would get lost on the way. Not only that, these are disabled people, and when I seen, let's say, Bobby, it's a friend that I know from up here, or my ex-girlfriend from high school, these people do have the ability. They have cars, licenses, they drive, they can fill out paperwork, they read, write, they know how to use computers, email, all these things. And yet, their family hires an attorney, they go to court, and they get these people Social Security very quick, usually within the first 3 years that they go for it. And they don't have 30 years of past disabilities either. A lot of these people are just mental disabilities that have just been established recently or have a little bit of paperwork on it. Meanwhile, there are people who have 30 years of serious disabilities, missing limbs, eyeballs missing, seizures, shakes. Like me, I had a whole bottle of Epicac I had to drink. On top of that, I had an overdose at age 7, and I've been shaking and falling ever since. I mean, at the age of 10 in Maine, I fell down during fireworks. I've gone to physical therapy. I've been gone to ballet. I've fallen while riding a bike. I've had a seizure to smash my skull in. I've had addiction. I've been pumped through with pills. I've passed out at my desk at school. I've had teachers tell me that my mother is crazy, trying to understand what her notes and why they're so loony. I've had my mother beat me. I've had my body destroyed. I've vomited in the morning from age 10 all the way now randomly. Now it's like every day, but back then it was randomly. The doctors have a coordination issue down. They have hundreds of mental illnesses down. They have all these other physical ailments, hepatitis. I've had stomach issues for years now. And the guy who literally his family just said something's wrong and just started, who has a car, can drive, can read, can write, has all that, his organs are fine, they just say there might be something wrong like ADHD, he gets put to the head of the line. Why? Why does that? Because he has an attorney and his family hired a really good one. The state does not have time to fight the good cases. The people who have money don't have to fight like the people at the bottom who really are sick and disabled. And that's the problem. Raymond, the guy I knew, 50 years old, has the mental capacity of a 7 year old, can't walk proper, can't drive, can't do anything. And when we first move up here, they want to give him the run and want him not to be disabled so he can get his benefits. So he has to cure himself of his disabilities if he wants to get disability, Social Security. And I think that's wrong because people who are disabled aren't going to cure themselves to get disability. What ends up happening is a family member or a friend or some agency comes in and ends up doing the work for them, and then they get approved. but not everybody has the money, family, or ways to do that. So the people who grew up in orphanages or grew up in my situation with a crazy mother and an older father who wants to run away from the situation, we're just left in between the cracks. And what's even worse is I have piles and piles of fake information that get in my way. My mother, I mean, oh, you got this mental disorder, you got this mental disorder. So, of course, they're not going to take any of the facts as facts. Like, for instance, I was given extra Epicac. My mother admitted that several times and bragged for it for 10 years. This isn't something that I'm coming up with. This is something that she clearly admitted to. She didn't say, no, that didn't happen. This isn't my opinion. This is something that happened that she admitted to and then again admitted to in front of witnesses. These things happen. And when you give extra Epicac to a small child, that could come with stomach issues long term. And wouldn't you know, I have stomach issues long term. I mean, I was vomiting and trying a glass of milk in the morning to stop my vomiting before school at the age of like 14, maybe even younger. So, this is very important to handle, but I doubt it's going to get handled because of the system we have. We have my father running away. We got my mother, who did some of this stuff, passed away. We got the government all screwed up. We got a system what it gives the fast lane to the wealthy and the well off and gives a slow screw you lane to the people who actually need the help. We have a broken system, and until I get the help, I can't drive, but yet they want me to drive to get the help. So it's just a bunch of oxymorons, and I'm not no president. I'm not nobody with extreme power, so I can't fix the system. I'm not going to be able to change any of the system that I'm navigating. So I'm probably going to be stuck going in circles and dealing with oxymorons until the day I'm too sick to walk.